Now to make it possible to sign in with Google, we need to create a dedicated function within our login component. So we'll make a function which will be called sign-in, and we need to use our auth module. This is going to be from Firebase, and it's the auth value that we exported. So let's bring in auth, and in particular, we want to sign in with a pop-up. So on our page, once the user clicks on this button, a pop-up will be created, and for this method that needs to be called, we need to give it the appropriate provider. So we will also import that from our Firebase file, and this is an asynchronous operation. It returns a promise, and it does return data to us. It returns the created user. If it's successful, it returns the signed in user. So we want to make our function async, and to resolve this promise, we use the await keyword. And we can put the data that we get back in just a variable called data. And for right now, we can log it with console.log data. Now we want to pass our sign-in function down to our Google login option. Remember, we have our onClick prop, so we'll pass that down using onClick. So when we save and hit continue with Google, we will see any Google accounts that we have, so we can choose which one that we want to use. And if we look at our console, we can see that we have an object with a bunch of information here about our user that just signed in, including, you can see email, display name, if their email is verified, a photo URL. We're going to use this information to create a user in our database. If we look at our authentication tab back within our Firebase project, we'll just see that a user was created here only within authentication. However, we want to create a user within Firestore. Specifically, we want to create a user associated with a given username. So in TikTok, users have usernames associated with their account, and we want to store those within a collection. A collection is, you can think of a collection kind of like an array of elements. The elements are essentially objects, and these are called documents in Firestore. So we would have a collection ID called usernames, and within it, each individual username document is linked to a given document ID. So Firestore, in most cases, would generate this document ID for us. In some other cases, we might generate it ourselves. And for this usernames collection, we would just have a field connected with their unique ID or their UID. And we can see this if we look within our created user. You can see this on the UID field. So we can in fact copy this. We can provide it as the document ID and on the field UID as its value. So now we have our first collection and our first document on a given collection in our Firestore database. So what can we do with this? Well, whenever a user signs up or signs in, we want to check if they're a new user or not. If they are a new user, in this case, when they signed up for the first time, they are a new user, we want them to select their own username. So how do we check to see if a user already exists? We can use this usernames collection, and we can see if there is a document with the UID of the user that just signed in. So let's create a separate function to take care of that. We want to call a function called checkUsername. We want to pass the UID value of the newly signed in user to this function. So we say if we get data back, if this was successful, we want to call checkUsername, and the UID property comes from data.user.uid. So we pass that through, and this is our first instance of using our database, which we can import also from lib/Firebase. And working with Firestore is very straightforward. It uses some very straightforward methods to be able to reference certain collections or documents. So we want to use the method collection to reference the collection usernames that we have, and we want to find the username document where the UID field, and we provide the first field as an argument that's a string, and then the second argument is a comparative where the UID is equal. You can see that there's a number of different operators here that are pretty straightforward, but we want to find the UID that is equal to the UID that we're passing to this function. Simple enough. Now, interestingly enough, this isn't an operation just yet. This is just a reference. This is a reference to a given query. So where creates and returns a new query, and where is a filter that we provided on this query. And additionally, we can chain more methods onto it to query even further. So we could limit this, for example, to just one document if we wanted. In our case, we just want to put this created query in a variable called ref. So we have a reference to this username. We could call this username ref, and we just want to check to see if a given username exists. So to actually perform this operation, to perform an operation to check and see that such a username exists, we can use methods on this return query, one of them being get. So we can say usernameref.get, which is a method, and this also returns a promise. So we want to make check username an async function where we await this operation, and we can get back from it additional data, and this data is called a query snapshot. Let's put our query snapshot data in its own variable and then log it so we can see what's on it. So if we were to log in again and open our console, we see an object with a bunch of information. We see some Firestore related information. We see this docs property, which consists of an array. This refers to the documents that it was able to find. And then we have this property empty, which is what we're going to be using here. Empty is a value that denotes whether it was able to find a queried value or not, and if there are any documents returned on our query snapshot. Since we do have one document, empty is false, and we can use this value off of query snapshot to be able to display our sign up component. So if a user already exists, we just want to take them to the app, but if they do not have an existing username, according to this check username function, we want to display the sign up component. How do we do that? Well, this is going to be controlled through some logic back within our unAuthApp component. We can manage this using state. So we can bring in state, or the default value will be false, and we're going to call this isNewUser. The setter will be setNewUser. So if we think about this, if we have a new user, if this value is true, then we want to display the sign up component, otherwise the login component. So what do we need for a login? Well, we need to be able to set this new user value to true. So we'll pass it down as a prop. And we'll make sure to destructure it from the props object here. So set new user within check username can just take the value from query snapshot of query snapshot.empty. And then additionally, within signup, we're going to want to pass down the user information from the newly authenticated user. And we can once again get that from the sign in with pop-up method. So after checking the username, it'll set this new user value, whether it's true or false, in order to determine which component to display. And additionally, we can set some user data, once again, back within unAuthApp, so we can pass it down to sign up. And this new user state by default will be set to null. And we're just going to call this user, and the setter will be setUser. So login will also take the callback function setUser. We'll destructure that from props, and we can get the user data here in sign in from data.user, and that's what we'll pass to our setUser function. So we'll save both of these components, and while we're at it, we can pass down the user data to sign up as a prop since we know that we're going to be using it. So let's save unAuthApp, and let's attempt to log in again. Now we're just going to see the login component. Ultimately, we will add some logic to be able to redirect to the home page when our user's logged in and we have an existing user. But if we do not have an existing user, so let's remove usernames, our usernames collection. If we delete the collection, we can go to this option here, we see delete collection for usernames. We just have to confirm that we want to delete it by typing in its ID. We'll do that. And let's try one more time. Continue with Google. And we see the component sign up because we're a new user and it wasn't able to find that username document.